Hello guys, welcome back to our anime explainer. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of upcoming episode of Swallowed Star based on novel. So let's start. In the vast universe ocean, where the chaotic airflow was incredibly thick and dense, a 9-story tower suddenly appeared amidst the chaotic airflow. Within the tower, the 100 universe masters from the Hong Alliance had gathered. Regardless of whether they were plant life forms with countless lush branches and leaves or rock life forms surrounded by flames all over, these universe masters from the various powerful races were all part of the Hong Alliance. At the moment, they were engaged in conversation with one another. Ahead is where that humanoid massive life form is. We will be there very soon. In the frontmost area of the tower, Luo Feng and Primal Chaos City Leader were standing side by side. The other universe masters from the Hong Alliance did not dare disturb. The world of Jin will be the greatest opportunity for the rise of the human race. Primal Chaos City Leader looked far out into the outside world, beyond Universe Ocean, and let out a sigh. He said, "Previously, when Huge Axe was annihilated, I thought my fellow humans would face a daunting future. Who would have thought to see a silver lining among the clouds? After we achieve this feat, our humans will well be on the rise, and there will no longer be anyone to stop us." Luo Feng nodded. Hua. Star Tower quickly flew right through the middle of the lips of that massive creature. Outside the miniature universe of the world of Jin, numerous palace-type true treasures were suspended, all of which were troops of various groups of top powers within the universe ocean. A 9-story tower also made its way over. It's Star Tower. Milky Way Horde Leaders Star Tower. The humans are here, too. Milky Way Horde Leader. Various powerful groups suddenly redirected their attention. Luo Feng stood within the tower as his gaze swept over the crowd outside. He whispered, "This is a little more than the previous time. With the third era, the number of universe masters seeking to enter the world of Jin is far more, I guess." Luo Feng was surprised as he looked into the distance. "That is," Primal Chaos City Leader said, also looking over. "The Ancestral God School." Luo Feng was shocked to see that, amidst the void space in the outside world, where it was relatively nearer to the miniature universe of the world of Jin, there were 3 figures. These 3 were none other than the 3 ancestral gods from the Ancestral God School, and all 3 of them each exuded endlessly oppressive power that was strong enough to overpower any true god. "Why are the 3 ancestral gods here?" Luo Feng asked with a frown. Beside him, even Primal Chaos City Leader was solemn as he replied, "Previously, during the initial entry into the world of Jin, these 3 ancestral gods appeared to advise the various groups of powers on how to enter the world of Jin. Now, all 3 are here again, and judging by the oppressive force they are exuding, apparently, they are still in the favor of the willpower of the primal universe origin. They must be here under the orders of the willpower of the origin." Luo Feng nodded slowly as he stared at the 3 ancestral gods in the distance. After that, numerous troops arrived to realize that the 3 ancestral gods from Ancestral God School had appeared. The 3 ancestral gods. Why are they here? Judging by the oppressive force they are exuding, they must be representing the willpower of the primal universe origin. The only thing we are unsure of is what they intend to do. The various powerful groups were filled with doubts. No one was afraid of the willpower of the origin, but neither did anyone initiate any provocation. After all, they had never heard of the willpower of the origin killing anyone independently, as long as they avoided provoking it. However, none of them dared to take this situation lightly, nor any piece of information about the willpower of origin. After all, even the most senior of Universe Supreme Masters found the Universe Ocean mysterious and unfathomable. Time passed, and during this third era, various groups of top powers naturally made their way over as soon as they could. As if of one mind, everyone had made it a point to arrive slightly early. Because the period of time when the membrane walls of the miniature universe of World of Jinn remained white was not long, it was necessary for them to arrive as early as possible. Attention, all. The three ancestral gods stood amidst the void space. The aged ancestral god slowly spoke, and his voice resonated in every corner of the void space. At this moment, almost all the representatives of the three reincarnation eras and two holy lands from the universe ocean have made it here. Suddenly, from within the numerous palace true treasures far away, many figures flew out. They were all great beings varying in appearance and form. There were thousands of universe masters, and a portion of them were universe supreme masters. All of them were gathering into scattered groups, looking at the three ancestral gods from afar. What do the three ancestral gods want? Luo Feng and Primal Chaos City Leader stood beside one another and behind them. There were over 100 universe masters from the Hong Alliance. The various powerful groups were filled with doubts. The three ancestral gods' gazes swept through the surroundings as the aged ancestral god continued. We are here on the orders of the willpower of the origin, and we have something very important to inform you all. Do you know why this miniature universe, the world of Jinn, which lies within the body of this massive creature, suddenly appeared in universe ocean? Silence. Everyone was listening intently. This, said the aged ancestral god. This was orchestrated personally, by the willpower of the primal universe origin. It led this massive creature here. All the way from deep within universe ocean, it was led here by the willpower of the primal universe origin. Suddenly, there was an uproar. What? Led all the way here? Even Luo Feng and Primal Chaos City Leader wore shocked expressions. This massive creature had flown all the way here from deep within universe ocean, and it had, in fact, been led all the way here by the willpower of the primal universe origin. Was this for real? Or was it just a ploy? A deception? Those who were present were all top-notch existences from universe ocean. They would never trust such words so easily. Previously, while you all may have discovered this massive creature, you were all clueless about how you could enter, said the aged ancestral god. If the willpower of the primal universe origin had not led the way, who knows how much time would have been spent? Who knows how many great beings would have to be sacrificed in the body of this massive creature, before the final destination could be found? Everyone nodded. Luo Feng was also in agreement. After all, it was indeed a very vast area in the body of that massive creature. Without guidance, there would surely be a great deal of places they needed to explore. Even if they did discover the world of Jinn, after hundreds and thousands of attempts, always resulting in failure and annihilation, there would come a time when they would have to stop trying, albeit temporarily. No one would have known that entry was only possible when the membrane of that miniature universe was white. If there was no guidance, the powerful groups would certainly suffer some degree of loss, and the time required would be much longer. The willpower of the origin followed the universe law, said the aged ancestral god. When a catastrophe occurs, it will take it upon itself to beseech any glimmer of hope of survival for all life forms. This world of Jinn is the place where the vitality of every living soul of the various groups of top powers from universe ocean can be found. Catastrophe occurs. What catastrophe? Catastrophe. That word alone was enough to rouse the attention of the various groups of powers. The first and second reincarnation eras, and all the great beings from the primal universe era, were looking intently at the three ancestral gods. The youngest of the three ancestral gods added in a loud and clear voice, "The primal universe breeds all life forms and all living souls. In this vast world, there are two sides to everything. If there is a primal universe that breeds all life forms, then, on the contrary, there will also be an existence that destroys all life forms. The young ancestral god's gaze swept across the surroundings. This existence is called Sector Beast. All the great beings fell silent. Gradually, they began muttering to themselves as doubts ran through their minds. Sector Beast. The primal universe breeds all life forms and living souls. And the Sector Beast destroys everything. Even Luo Feng was filled with doubts. Sector Beast. Seriously? Why have I never heard of its existence before? The three ancestral gods seemed to know that the various great beings were stumped by this piece of news. They paused for a moment to allow the numerous great beings some time to process this information. In one quiet corner, among the great beings from the various groups of top powers from the universe ocean, a lone figure appeared. This lofty elder was seated atop a cyan-colored mountain peak. He was none other than Sitting Mountain Guest. Sitting Mountain Guest had never entered the world of Jinn. Neither was he the least bit concerned. However, the three ancestral gods had come forth, so here he was too. Sector Beast. Sitting Mountain Guest flashed a strange expression, as he vaguely recalled. Sector Beast. Could it have been born soon? If it was born, then, indeed, this is a major catastrophe in the making. Come to think of it, Sitting Mountain Guest whispered softly, this is quite ridiculous. Sector Beast. What a pity, Sitting Mountain Guest shook his head. The three ancestral gods' gazes swept across the surroundings, and double-faced ancestral god spoke up. Sector Beast is known to be the most terrifying life form that could be bred by universe ocean, unquestionably, the most terrifying life form. It was an existence that contradicted the presence of the primal universe. After an immeasurably long period of time, a single sector beast would emerge, and when this happened, there would be a great catastrophe. For countless eras, within the entire universe ocean, why were there only two Holy Land universes? Double-faced ancestral god looked toward the various powerful groups. Suddenly, every great being present started speculating about why this was. Luo Feng's heart stirred. How true. Over the course of countless eras, there should have been births of extraordinary talents. Two Holy Land universes were simply too few to start with. Could it be? All of you are right, double-faced ancestral god said, nodding solemnly. All the earlier Holy Land universes were destroyed by sector beasts. When a sector beast completely emerges, it will destroy all the universes it comes across, regardless of whether it is a Holy Land universe, a miniature universe, or even the primal universe. Ah? What, all the miniature universes? Even the primal universe, too? Everyone was shocked. The universe itself is not resilient, and can only withstand attacks passively, double-faced ancestral god continued. Every living soul will undergo extermination, so naturally, everything within the universe will eventually be exterminated. However, the extermination of the primal universe is only temporary. It will be transformed back to its origin. Then, in the future, everything will again undergo evolution to become the primal universe again. In the Purple Moon Holy Land universe, as the three ancestral gods were talking to the various powerful groups, Purple Moon Ancestor immediately jumped out of his throne upon hearing the news. Sector Beast, he said. The three ancestral gods mentioned that a sector beast is about to be born. How could it? How could it turn out like this? Ancestor. The dozen universe masters kneeling beneath Purple Moon Ancestor were all perturbed with trepidation. Get out, all of you. Purple Moon Ancestor shouted. Fearfully, everyone departed. Purple Moon Ancestor could hardly hide his anxiety as he said, how could it be? It should be tens of thousands of reincarnation eras, or even more, before a sector beast is bred. I just became a true god of void space not too long ago. How could I be so unlucky? What a timely coincidence to meet with the birth of a sector beast. I must make good use of time and quickly cultivate to become an eternal true God. Once I become an eternal true God, I will be able to fight against the sector beast, so at least my miniature universe will not be destroyed. Purple Moon Ancestor and East Emperor Ancestor were both very flustered. In the void space outside world of Jinn, the three ancestral gods were still speaking. The sector beast is still very small and weak now. While it is still small and weak, we should strike and kill it. This is the best opportunity for us. Once it grows up, all life during the period when it reaches maturity will be exterminated. Not a single survivor will be left. Even the primal universe will be temporarily destroyed and transformed back into its origin. The world of Jinn will help you increase your powers and collect more powerful treasures. Then you can use these to exterminate the sector beast. It must be within this reincarnation era. No delay can be allowed. You all see that universe boat. Why was it created? It was for the purpose of dealing with that sector beast. The ancestral gods' voices resonated within the minds of thousands of great beings from the various top groups. Sitting Mountain Guest sat in a corner in the distance. He was listening to the story of the three ancestral gods, but he couldn't help shaking his head and sighing. They are mixing lies with the truth, and they're trying to scare all those beings from Universe Ocean. They claimed that Universe Boat was built to defend against sector beasts. What a joke. Luo Feng and the thousands of great beings from all the powers in Universe Ocean were indeed terrified. Universe Boat had been created to defend against sector beasts. Of course, as for matured sector beasts, said the young ancestral god in a clear voice. Sector beasts have two periods. The first period is an incubation period, and the second is a growth period. During the incubation period, Universe Ocean will breed 1 billion sector beasts. What? 1 billion sector beasts? Isn't there only one sector beast? All the great beings were shocked. They had surmised that there must be only one sector beast. The young ancestral god continued, Universe Ocean will breed 1 billion sector beasts, and they'll fight and kill each other, eating each other. The process will decrease the overall number of existing sector beasts. Eating other sector beasts will make the remaining sector beasts stronger and stronger. Finally, when all the other sector beasts are dead, one sector beast will survive the whole process. Everyone held their breath. Luo Feng was terrified. 1 billion sector beasts fought each other, and only one was left. That sector beast would be a catastrophe. The sector beast who survives in the end represents destruction. It's a real nightmare, said the aged ancestral god. If that sector beast enters this phase, it'll be in the growth period. None of you from the 3 universe eras and 2 holy lands will be able to stop him now. Once a sector beast enters the growth period, it can still devour everything, but it has a sector inside its body, which can breed creatures. Once it's entered growth period, it can breed one powerful warrior after another. The aged ancestral god sighed. It'll be truly invincible. We must kill them during their incubation period. Though there are many sector beasts at incubation period, they are comparatively weak, and they can't breed powerful warriors as well. This is the best time to kill them, said the aged ancestral god solemnly. Go kill as many sector beasts as possible so that they don't have a chance to eat others, then they won't become stronger. According to the great original mind, when this universe era ends, there will be only one sector beast left, and it's the sector beast at growth period, the invincible sector beast. We must kill them all before this universe era ends. Everyone turned silent. Thoughts flooded their minds. However, said Double-Face Ancestral God, sector beasts are still terrific during the incubation period. Universe Masters can't go. Otherwise, you're just being suicidal. Only Universe Supreme Masters can go. Universe Supreme Masters. What? Universe Masters can't go. Everyone was dazed. Almost all of the thousands of great beings who gathered here were Universe Masters. However, according to the three ancestral gods, Universe Masters were qualified to fight the sector beasts. Besides, double-faced ancestral god continued. Even if you are a Universe Supreme Master, you need a Supreme True Treasure armor and a Soul-type Supreme True Treasure to fight the sector beasts. Otherwise, you're being suicidal. Of course, the best-case scenario is that you can get some machine-type valuables from the world of Jinn. Then your power will be significantly improved. Remember, Soul-type Supreme True Treasures and Supreme True Treasure armors, you must have both. Otherwise, even Universe Supreme Masters can't go. Listening to the ancestral gods talk made all the powers panic, including the Hong Alliance. The Universe Masters conversed among themselves, and they were all scared. How powerful are these sector beasts? And they are this powerful during their incubation period. Only true gods can go fight them, and even true gods have to have soul and armor Supreme True Treasures. We're not their match. We can't do anything to help. So terrifying. We didn't plan to go in the first place, and since we're not powerful enough, we won't risk our lives. If even true gods needed soul and armor Supreme True Treasures to protect themselves, who would dare to go? Luo Feng and Primal Chaos City Leader gave each other a look. Someone had to go. If no one went, then it would be destined that when all the sector beasts destroyed each other, and only one survived, that one would breed a great many powerful warriors. It would take all the warriors it had bred to roam Universe Ocean. Such an event would be truly apocalyptic for Universe Ocean. Even the Holy Lands would be annihilated, so even if they could transcend incarnations before this universe era ended, it would be of no use, as the Holy Lands would be destroyed anyway. Someone had to stand up. Suddenly, a thick voice said, "Where are the sector beasts?" The young ancestral god glanced around and answered, "They reside in the core area of Tilted Peak Sector, the Land of Darkness." It's there. It's in the core area. None of us Universe Masters would dare to go there. No wonder nobody is ever able to get out of the Land of Darkness. It's where those sector beasts reside. Everyone memoized the name, Land of Darkness. As for the Hong Alliance, Luo Feng and Primal Chaos City Leader were stunned. Huge Axe. Huge Axe died in Land of Darkness. It's in the Land of Darkness. That's where the sector beasts live. Luo Feng was terrified. He now understood why Huge Axe had died so quickly. After all, Huge Axe hadn't had a Supreme True Treasure armor, or a Soul-type Supreme True Treasure. He didn't even have a Palace-type Supreme True Treasure. The only thing he had was his godly axe. Sector Beast. Primal Chaos City Leader stood next to Luo Feng, his eyes gleaming with hostility and fury. Huge Axe had been like a brother to him. He was enraged to realize that Huge Axe had been killed by sector beasts. "It's in the Land of Darkness," said the aged ancestral god. "You have to go through the areas around the Land of Darkness if you want to transcend incarnations, which means that if you go transcend incarnations, you'll be stopped and attacked. Besides, even if one of you can successfully transcend incarnations, your holy lands will be destroyed by sector beasts in the future anyway. If they stay alive, none of you can transcend incarnations. All of you will die." "They have to die," the aged ancestral god continued. "Now, go. Go to the world of Jinn, improve your power, and get as many true treasures and machine-type true treasures as you can. The more powerful you become, the greater the chance that you can survive fighting sector beasts, or maybe even kill them. The more sector beasts you kill, the more you contribute to the original mind. For that, The original mind will bestow you with powerful valuables from the ancient civilization and ancient inheritances. You can get as many as you desire, as long as you kill enough sector beasts. The three ancestral gods looked at each other. They then went into the true treasure palace and flew away. The three ancestral gods left. However, all the great beings from all the powers in universe ocean were in an uproar. The tidings brought by the three ancestral gods were just horrendous, and the news made them realize that there were truly horrifying beings living in universe ocean. 1 billion sector beasts. And only one of them could survive. Sector beasts had sectors in their bodies that could breed powerful warriors. It's not just a sector beast. It's a world, Luo Feng whispered. Once it enters its growth period, it can breed many warriors, and those warriors could destroy everything. If it enters the later part of its growth period, it might take all of universe ocean to destroy them. Python River Army Camp of the East Army in the world of Jin. The earthling original body of Luo Feng was still sitting on the island. Luo Feng used his military point ring. The time and space in the stone hall changed, and a golden being appeared. Lord Milky Way, the golden being said with a bow. Luo Feng nodded. I need information about sector beasts. Sector beasts. The golden being thought for a moment. Then lots of characters appeared. Luo Feng turned around. He had no doubt that the world of Jin was the remains of the ancient civilization. It did have the information about sector beasts. However, it was brief. Sector beasts are very cruel and horrendous creatures. The birth of sector beasts represents destruction and annihilation. They have a powerful, dark sector in their bodies, where their bodies can keep breeding powerful warriors. The warriors produced are good at speed, good at defense, good at attacks, and highly skilled at self-destruction. And there are countless powerful warriors. The more powerful a sector beast is, the more powerful the warriors bred in its body will be. When a sector beast truly matures, it is a real apocalypse. Even the entire Jin country, at its prime, couldn't defend against a mature sector beast and the army it leads. It's born for destruction. Every time one is born, it is either annihilated during the early period, or it destroys many powers, forcing the remaining powers to cooperate to destroy it. It's the enemy of all powers. It has to be killed as soon as it's discovered. Otherwise, it'll exact an even larger price as time goes by. The information was brief. Dating back to when the world of Jin was first established, it had never come across a sector beast at its true prime, so it didn't know much about sector beasts. There were only some legends about them. Luo Feng was petrified. So terrifying. The world of Jin had His Majesty the Godly King, and there were lots of great beings, countless eternal true gods, and true gods of void space, an army of countless true gods. It even had a machine-type valuable that needed 10 million true gods at the same time to operate it. Yet it still couldn't defend itself against a mature sector beast. It only documents sector beasts at their growth period, rather than the incubation period, thought Luo Feng. The growth period ranges from weak to mature. However, even during the weak period, we can't resist them. We have to kill them all during their incubation period. In the space outside the world of Jin, true treasure palaces were floating around. Whether they wanted to enter the world of Jin for transcending incarnations, or to kill sector beasts for survival, they all needed to gain inheritance and valuables to strengthen themselves from the world of Jin. Suddenly, the membrane of the miniature universe changed to white. The color has changed. We can go in now. Let's go in. Let's go. All the true treasure palaces entered the miniature universe of the world of Jin from every direction. Go, said Primal Chaos City Leader. You all have the map of the world of Jin. You don't have Luo Feng's guidance this time. Hopefully, you can all pass the screening of the army. All the Universe Masters were respectful and flew out of Star Tower. The group of Universe Masters from the Hong Alliance then went into their true palaces and flew toward the world of Jin, through the universe membrane and into the world of Jin. Some even flew there by themselves. As time went by, those who had sent the great beings from the same power into the world of Jin all came back, yet Luo Feng's Star Tower still floated in space. Luo Feng. Primal Chaos City leader turned around and looked at Luo Feng at his side. No need to rush. Luo Feng nodded and smiled. Hua. A silver spaceship flew out of the world of Jin, and it flew toward Star Tower. It shrank as it approached Star Tower and flew inside. What is? Primal Chaos City leader looked at Luo Feng, confused. I said I gained quite a lot in the world of Jin. Luo Feng turned around. Golden Horned Beast, bathed in black light, walked in. I've taken the prizes back. Prizes? Primal Chaos City leader looked pleased. He knew that Luo Feng had high enough authority to kill all Universe Masters that entered that world of Jin, and he was capable of doing that all at once. This was true authority. So naturally, getting abundant valuables from the world of Jin was a piece of cake for him. However, Primal Chaos City leader wasn't sure how many valuables Luo Feng had acquired. 10 machine-type valuables, said Luo Feng. And 100 true god-level true treasures. Luo Feng didn't seek to conceal it, as it wasn't worth concealing. Compared to the huge amount of military credits he had, it was a drop in the ocean. That many. Primal Chaos City leader was dazed. He knew that it had been a rewarding trip for Luo Feng, but this was outrageous. True god-level valuables are supreme true treasures in Universe Ocean. 100 supreme true treasures. This is incredible. That's equivalent to all the supreme true treasures of all the powers of Universe Ocean combined. Luo Feng shook his head. That was before. With all these great beings now entering the world of Jin, the valuables in Universe Ocean will greatly increase. That's right, Primal Chaos City leader said with a nod. We can't just give them away easily. We have rules in our race. Luo Feng, you got all these valuables, so you have every right to decide how to distribute them. Individuals must pay a price for them or make a huge contribution to get them. Luo Feng nodded. I have my own plan as well. Certainly, they need to make contributions. They were at the highest status in the human race. It was up to them to decide the rules among the humans. It's time to go back. Luo Feng looked at the space outside, took control of Star Tower, and flew outside. Ever since being sealed and bestowed with the strength of a world, by the godly king of Jin country, other than the godly king, who had never appeared, Luo Feng had the highest authority in the world of Jin. He could easily get anything he wanted in the world of Jin without any trouble. After all, he could suppress even an eternal true god with the strength of the world of Jin itself. Luo Feng could now shift his focus back to Universe Ocean and the human race. However, he left his original body in the world of Jin. For one thing, he could stay there to get valuables anytime. Plus, he could only be MIA for a short period of time. If he vanished for too long, seniors such as the 4 generals in the world of Jin would be worried. Boat of Mausoleum is back. I can also take Wu Chi God out. After all, I'm invincible in the world of Jin, so there's no need for Wu Chi God. Golden Horned Beast is also back, because there are many dangers in Universe Ocean. The Earthling original body was preparing in world of Jin. He was waiting for the great beings from Purple Moon Holy Land and the United Force to come in, but that could take several months. He decided that the date of the massacre would be 1 year later. The bug race territory of the original universe. Sector beasts. Could there truly be beings so terrifying? Bug Empress sat on the throne and contemplated. We haven't fully prepared ourselves yet, so there's no need to rush. Even if we rush there now, when we arrive outside the miniature universe of the world of Jinn, the universe membrane may no longer be white. We must prepare ourselves. We'll enter in the fourth era. We need to get as many valuables as we can. Actually, for all the powers in Universe Ocean, although many universe masters had entered the world of Jinn, only a few true gods had entered. Each true god was the pillar of a race, and once a true god died, its miniature universe would crumble, and all the creatures inside would die. So when true gods thought about going to the world of Jinn, they needed to exercise extra caution. They also had their own desires, and the message from the original mind helped them make up their minds. Some entered the world of Jinn. Some planned to wait and enter the world of Jinn in the fourth era. In the original universe, at the center of the human territory, in the primal secret region. This machine-type valuable is so powerful. Primal Chaos City Leader stood there. His entire body was engulfed in golden light. There were 3 pairs of golden wings on his back, permeating powerful forces. It was indeed a wondrous-looking machine-type valuable. It was also a top-tier machine-type valuable Luo Feng obtained. I can be 2 levels more powerful with this valuable. He shook his head. No wonder the original mind asked all the great beings to enter the world of Jinn. It has to, said Luo Feng. Without the threat of the sector beasts, we wouldn't have even been allowed to find the world of Jinn. That's right. Primal Chaos City Leader nodded. While traveling back to the original universe from Universe Ocean, he tested the power of the machine-type valuable and was amazed. It might have been difficult for other human universe masters to acquire the valuables, but Primal Chaos City Leader had easily gotten a machine-type valuable, a soul-type supreme true treasure, a palace-type supreme true treasure, and a domain-type supreme true treasure from Luo Feng, all for free. Primal Chaos City Leader knew that a storm was coming, so he didn't reject them. Luo Feng, you have made as many contributions to the human race as Teacher Origin, said Primal Chaos City Leader, as he traveled back to the original universe. Teacher, you've been guarding the humans from within, said Luo Feng, guarding and managing our race. You make our race prosper. This is the most important contribution. When Primal Chaos City Leader was back in the original universe, he could only wield power at top-tier level 6 even with a machine-type valuable. But he was still thrilled about the valuables he had obtained. If Huge Axe had these valuables, he could have, Primal Chaos City Leader sighed. Teacher, but just as Luo Feng opened his mouth, he frowned. Primal Chaos City Leader looked to the outside. It's the 3 ancestral gods. Let's go. They both disappeared. The 3 ancestral gods from the Ancestral God School stood above the endless remote ocean. Remote Ocean Luo Feng and Primal Chaos City Leader appeared together. Why are you here, ancestral gods? Said Primal Chaos City Leader. The aged ancestral god said, Chaos, we're here for Milky Way Horde Leader. For me. Luo Feng frowned. That's right, said the youngest of the ancestral gods. According to the original mind, even though Milky Way Horde Leader is only a universe master, he's the strongest great being in Universe Ocean. The strongest great being in Universe Ocean. Primal Chaos City Leader was shocked. This was coming from the original mind, so it carried great weight. With great power comes great responsibility, said the young ancestral god. The danger is coming, so we need great beings to deal with it. When we were sharing the information about sector beasts with all the powers from Universe Ocean, we told them that universe masters weren't able to fight sector beasts. However, we were only talking about universe masters in general. That doesn't include you, Milky Way Horde Leader. Double-faced ancestral god added, Milky Way Horde Leader is the strongest great being in Universe Ocean. If you can't defeat sector beasts, nobody can. Even though you are only a universe master, you have multiple bodies, said the aged ancestral god. Even if one of them dies, this endless remote ocean can quickly make one. The only things lost would be some valuables. This is the crucial moment that decides the fate of all creatures in Universe Ocean. Milky Way Horde Leader, you have multiple bodies, and you're the strongest. You're the most suitable one to fight sector beasts. No need to flatter me. Luo Feng smirked. This is only temporary. Those Universe Supreme Masters haven't got machine-type valuables. Once they acquire some, their power will surge, then I won't be the strongest. As for the sector beasts, he shook his head. I'll decide whether I'm going or not. Killing sector beasts is a huge contribution, said the aged ancestral god. You will be able to ask the original mind to repay you. If you make enough contributions, even Teacher Origin, suppressed by the original universe, could be released. What? Yelled Primal Chaos City Leader. Teacher Origin released. Luo Feng was thrilled as well. That's right, said the young ancestral god. The more contributions you make, the more you can ask from the original universe. It's more difficult to ask the original universe to release Teacher Origin than asking for some machine-type valuables. The original mind says that once Teacher Origin is released, he can immediately make a breakthrough and reach a new level. Presently, he won't be released and will be destroyed when this universe era is over. However, since the sector beasts are a threat to all the races, so if you kill them, you can release Teacher Origin. Luo Feng and Primal Chaos City Leader gave each other a look. Milky Way Horde Leader, said the young ancestral god, if you have any doubts, you can come to the ancestral god secret region and ask us. We can talk to the original mind directly and give you an answer. We won't stay here for long. Then the three ancestral gods smiled and flew away. This video will end here.